Okay, we're going to explain the mathematical formula for representing a mean. Let's review real quick what a mean is. Mean is the average. It is the sum of all the values divided by the number of values. In a quick example, if I had three values, 5, 6, and 7, to calculate the mean or the average, we would add up these three numbers, 5 plus 6 plus 7, which is 18. And then we would take that sum and then divide it by how many values there were. There were 1, 2, 3 numbers. So divide that by 3. And 18 divided by 3 is 6. You get your mean, your average. The symbol for a mean is this Greek letter mu. So the math way to write this out, this process, that we want to add up these numbers, first you have to realize that if we're writing a formula, we don't know what data set it's going to be applied to, and we don't know how many values there will be. So first we have to come up with how do we represent or tell someone how to add up a number of values when we don't even know how many there will be. So first recognize that we're going to use x to represent a value or a score. And often when we have more than one of something, so we have more than one score, more than one x, we'll use little subscript numbers to represent different ones. So x sub 1 would be the first score, x sub 2 would be the second score, x sub 3 the third, and so on and so forth. Well, if we don't know how many there are going to be, often we'll say that there are the nth score is the last score. Okay, so we don't know if that's going to be 5 scores or 50 or 100 or maybe 1,000. We're not sure. So we'll just say it's the nth score being the last. So now we can understand how to maybe represent the scores as a variable, not knowing exactly the number. But the next thing is we want to tell somebody to add these up. Well, the Greek letter sigma, capital sigma, is the symbol used to represent a sum. So one way that we would write the formula here, first off I'm going to use mu, that's used to represent the average or the mean. We're going to say is equal to, sigma is going to say the sum. So find the sum of x is going to be our scores. Well, what scores? Well, in this sigma or summation notation, often we also put a little letter I down here, and we say we want to find the sum of this for all the I values. So we'll put the I in the subscript place that go from where to where? Well, from the first score to the last score. And we said n was going to be the nth or last score. So find the sum of what? Of this expression, which is the scores. And which ones? Well, not just one, but all of them. All of the scores from the first to the nth. So this is kind of the mathy way to write how to find the sum of all those scores. Now that wasn't the end of finding the average. We then had to divide that sum by the number of scores. Well, that's the easy part. The number of scores is simply n. There you go. That's the fancy math way to write the formula for a mean. The mean is the sum of all the scores from the first one to the nth one. All of that divided by the number of scores.